Neptune. Neptune is the outermost planet in the solar system and is one of the coldest parts of the solar system. The distance from the planet to the Sun is 30 times the distance from the Earth to the Sun, and the temperature of its upper layer clouds reaches -201 degrees Celsius. Only the Voyager 2 spacecraft has traveled to Neptune and shown us the face of Neptune, its moons and rings. Neptune has the longest orbit around the Sun, and it takes 164.8 years to complete its orbit around it once. Because the planet was discovered in 1846, it has only been observed in one orbital period. Neptune has a 28.3-degree deviation toward its orbital plane, similar to Earth's orbital deviation. Like Earth, Neptune's northern and southern hemispheres lean toward the Sun as the planet orbits the Sun. Despite the planet's great distance from the Sun and the fact that sunlight reaches Neptune about 900 times less than what is seen on Earth, Neptune still experiences seasonal changes. The planet's long orbit around the Sun creates very long seasons, each lasting 40 Earth years. When we look at Neptune, we see that the outer atmosphere is full of hydrogen. Beneath it, a deep layer of liquid water, ammonia, and methane surrounds the planet's central rock core. Neptune's quiet appearance and the Sun's limited radiation reinforce the assumption that we are facing a calm, tame planet. However, the planet has an active atmosphere in which huge storms occur. Some of the strongest and fastest winds recorded in the solar system are in the planet's atmosphere. The main driving force behind Neptune's climate system is an unknown internal heat source that causes the planet to emit twice the amount of radiation it receives from the Sun. Bands and belts form parallel to the planet's equator inside the atmosphere. The white clouds seen along the latitude lines form over the visible blue layer of the atmosphere. Tropical winds blowing to the west are blowing at a 2,160 km/h in this area. One of the biggest hurricanes observed by Voyager 2 in 1989 is called the Great Dark Spot. The spot had disappeared when the Hubble Space Telescope surveyed Neptune in 1994. Nevertheless, the large dark spot is one of the most attractive complications observed on Neptune. Nevertheless, the large dark spot is one of the most attractive complications observed on Neptune. Neptune is the smallest of the 4 giant planets in our solar system. The planet is about 4 times the size of Earth and is slightly smaller than its inner neighbor, Uranus. Neptune's gaseous atmosphere forms its outer layer. Below this layer, as temperature, pressure, and density increase at greater depths, the state of the material changes to liquefy. Neptune's atmosphere is composed mainly of hydrogen and helium. There is 1.5% methane in the atmosphere, and there are a few other gases in the atmosphere, including hydrogen deuteride and ethane. Neptune rings. Neptune is surrounded by a series of thin, scattered rings named after astronomers studying the planet. The rings closest to Neptune are Gal, Leverrier, Lassell, Arago, and Adams. The rings are made of small, dark dust and particles with an unknown composition. The existence of Neptune rings has been predicted since Uranus rings were first discovered in 1977. That discovery proved that 3 of the 4 giant planets in our solar system have rings. During the 1980s, astronomers observed the planet passing in front of several stars. These stars twinkled for a moment just before they hid behind the planet, and the same thing happened when they left behind Neptune. This could be the reason for the existence of Neptune rings. But these observations produced inconsistent results, and this was only conclusive when Voyager 2 met with Neptune. The spacecraft discovered Adams's 5 main rings and a 50-kilometer outer ring, which contained 5 dense regions. Neptune moons. 13 moons orbit Neptune at very different distances. Most are small and irregular objects, but one of them, Triton, is large and spherical and shows many surface roughnesses. The first Neptune moon to be discovered was Triton, the largest moon on the planet, and the moon was discovered in October 1846. More than 100 years later, Nereid was discovered orbiting the planet in an orbit farther from Triton. These two were the only known moons of Neptune until another moon was finally discovered based on Voyager data in 1989. The 4 inner moons of the planet, Naiad, Thalassa, Despina, and Galatea, orbit Neptune. Since 2002, 5 more moons orbiting Neptune farther from Triton have been discovered with the help of ground-based observatories. The last of these was Psamathe, discovered in a photo taken by the Subaru telescope in Monaco, Hawaii in August 2003. Psamathe orbits Neptune in less than 25 years. Also in 2003, Niso was discovered as Neptune's moon. The moon orbits Neptune at a distance of 48 million kilometers. It thus holds the record for the solar system's farthest distance from the moon to the planet. This moon orbits Neptune once every 25.7 years. Except for Triton, the rest of Neptune's moons are small. Proteus is the second largest moon of this family, 440 kilometers in diameter, and Psamathe is one of the 3 moons that are only about 40 kilometers in diameter. Neptune's moons are named after characters associated with Neptune in Roman mythology or Poseidon in Greek mythology. Proteus. Sunlight illuminated half of Proteus and revealed the roughness of its craters. It has a diameter of 440 kilometers and orbits Neptune every 27 hours. Despina. With a diameter of 180 kilometers, Despina is moving towards Neptune. It may collide with Neptune in the future or break under the influence of gravity and become a nutrient for Neptune rings. Triton. Neptune's only large moon is Triton, a sphere of rock and ice with a diameter of about 2,707 kilometers. Its dimensions are about 3/4 of the dimensions of the Earth's moon. It takes about 6 days for the moon to orbit the planet once and complete one periodic rotation around itself. This adjusted rotation, along with Triton's orbital deviation, means that the moon's polar regions tend to rotate toward the sun. Triton is the only large moon in the solar system that orbits its orbit clockwise. This unusual feature suggests that Triton may not have been a moon for Neptune in the beginning. Still, it is one of the Kuiper belt objects trapped by Neptune millions of years ago. Triton was the last world to be carefully explored by the Voyager 2 spacecraft on its journey to 4 giant planets. The spacecraft measured the lunar surface temperature of -235 degrees Celsius. The temperature makes Triton one of the coldest parts of the solar system. The surface and crust of the moon are mainly composed of nitrogen ice, which contains an icy and core mantle of rocks and metals. Voyager 2 photographed about 40% of the moon's surface. These images show that the moon's surface is young, with few impact craters on it. The surface of this moon is relatively flat and the ice volcanoes form its roughness. In a volcanic process, subsurface ice is heated by sunlight and erupts on the surface. This creates soft plates and beds from ice volcanoes, and its elevations are formed by fountains of frozen gas that rise to 8 kilometers above the moon's surface. These gas eruptions occur when subsurface nitrogen ice is converted to gas and erupts out of ice surface cracks. Antarctica Triton is covered with a cap of frozen nitrogen and methane. At the edge of the cap, you can see the bright margin area resulting from frozen dew or fresh nitrogen snow. Some of these materials are dispersed by winds moving north, creating structures several hundred kilometers each.